have to be at 70% loan to value. Then you know your funding approval is going to be 70%. Me personally, I do not do a deal if I'm not doing ARV times 0.70. 70%. Why? 70%, that percentage, that 30%, that's either the profit I make when I'm doing a flip, or I know I need to be under 70% if I am going to refinance this property after I've renovated it and hold it. Okay, so my formula, I never change that percentage. Mine is always ARV times either 70 or 65, just depending on how much money I feel like I need to make at that time on my deals. So I'm going to do ARV times 0.70. And then I'm going to subtract my rehab costs. I'm going to subtract additional fees and costs. Additional fees and costs are closing costs, taxes, insurance, interest payments you have to make to your hard money lender, your private lender, whoever's funding your deal, excuse me. And I know once I add all of that up, that's going to equal my max offer. Okay. That is the most amount of money that I can pay for that property, period, point blank. I don't stretch out of it. I don't add on 5,000. I don't say, oh, I think I can get my rehab costs down. Absolutely not. That's my max offer. If I can't work out a deal with someone with that price, then it's not a deal. There is not a deal. It is not a deal, and I do not do it, and I move on to the next one, right? So all of my deals have to fit in that formula or I don't do them. And you have to get that serious about your cost, because if you don't, you'll start yourself off on the wrong foot, right? And I've started off on the wrong foot, and I don't want to do that anymore. All right. So if it doesn't fit in here, I don't try to make it fit. It either fits and it fits good, or we don't do the deal. Okay. Make sense? Give me some yeses. Yes. All right. Y'all getting it? Oh, good. Oh, a whole lot of you. Let's see, y'all advanced. I like y'all. Let me find out. Okay. All right. Next, the other formula we do is buy and hold. All right. Yeah, I will plug in some numbers. Don't even worry. I'm going to do my real deals for y'all so y'all can see. Alexis don't play. She ain't lying. She fit her stuff in here. So I'm going to analyze my real deals for y'all. I'm going to show you all my budget sheet where I did my rehab costs. And I'm also going to show you a deal analyzer sheet that I have. Okay. And so this is what I use. It ain't nothing special, but it's what I use. And I'm going to show it to you so that you can actually really physically see it. Okay. All right, so buy and holds. If I'm buying a property and it already has a tenant in place, okay? And I find out that I'm going to do whatever the rental rate is. So you can do rental comps or whatever the rental rate is with the tenant in place. If I'm looking at a property, I like tenant in place properties because I ain't got to do nothing. I ain't got to do no rehab. I just pick it up and cash flow. Those are properties I love, okay? So if I'm buying something with a tenant already in place and they tell me, okay, the tenant is paying $1,200 and they're under a 1-year lease, I know I can't raise the rent right now. So my rental comp is going to be $1,200. Or your rental comp is going to be however much properties are renting for, similar properties are renting for in that area. All right. You're going to find out the same way you do your ARV. Look, it's easy to find rental comps. All you got to do is you don't have to have a real estate license. You don't even have to have a realtor. You can go on Zillow, filter by your property and you can do rental meter too, easy, but I like to see the property sold too. You can use that. Find the comps for that rental area and look at the properties and see what they're renting for. If you know you're doing a nice renovation or it's already got a tenant in place, you want to pull comps that are similar to your property you're going to rent, and there's your rental comp. You're going to take that rental comp, be it whatever price it is. You're going to subtract the taxes, the insurance, PM, somebody asked, that's your project management cost. And I put maybe there because Alexis needs all of her coinage and she don't use no project managers. I am the projects manager, okay? So if you're like me and you cheat and you want all your coins, you might not get a project manager. But if you say, hey, Alexis, girl, listen, I can't do project management. I don't want to deal with no tenants. Then you need to factor that in. Anywhere from, depending on what area you're in, 6 to 10%. Here in Georgia, I can usually get project managers 6, 7%. So you're going to need to factor that in. And then you're going to subtract your mortgage payment if you have one. So whatever is applicable, you're going to factor all of those things in, right? And if you have any other fees you might be including, say you're paying all of the utilities, you're going to need to average those out for the month and factor those in as well. If your taxes and insurance are included in your escrow for your mortgage payment, just move them on over to the mortgage payment amount. So whatever your expenses are, you're going to do that. And whatever your rental comp minus all of those things, that's your cash flow. Okay. That is your cash flow. And I would go as far as to saying from my cash flow, I then put 10% of, I like to take 10% of my rental comp, whatever my rental rate is, and put 10% of my rent, not my cash flow, because I'm only cash flowing $500 and I'm only putting $50 away a month. That's not enough for vacancies or maintenance issues. I take 10% of whatever my rental rate is. I put that up for vacancies and repairs. And then rest of it is my cash flow. What do you do with your cash flow? You put it in your pocket. There you go. Okay. So these are two formulas that everything should fit into. All right. Make sense? Can y'all see me? Okay, yes. Oh, I see people now. Okay, okay. Oh, there go messages. I think my internet went out for a second, but we back. Okay, okay, okay. Y'all got it. Perfect. Any questions before I go on and do examples? Oh, somebody said no, they don't got it. Okay, well, we're gonna do some examples for you. Any questions before
Guys,
I go on and do some examples?
If you have any questions, guys, if you have any questions, raise your hand. I'm gonna bring you in so you can ask instead of all these chats. You know what I mean? But just
Okay.
keep your questions short because it's a lot of us.
Yeah. Oh, it is a lot. Okay. Or Matt, you rather me go on and take them at the end? What do you think?
Now let's do it right now while we in the middle of it. I'm gonna bring them on for you, okay?
Okay.
So Lisa, I'm coming to you.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Alexis. I just have a question. When you own properties out of state, how do you manage them? How are the properties maintained? You have them out of state.
So, yep. So owning properties out of state, I put together a crew of people that I can call on for issues. So I always like to have a good general handyman. I like to have an electrician. I like to have an HVAC person. And I like to have a plumber. Those are the major things that go wrong on a property that's established. So I like to have those wherever my property is. But if you can't do that, or you don't feel like you can handle that, then you definitely can get a project manager. Just for me, I put those crews in place. If something goes wrong, I make the call, they make the repair, I pay over the phone, and we go on about life.
All right, just one more question in addition to that. How do you manage tenants then if they're out of state?
So I don't really have any need to manage the tenants. I do go visit my properties, or I'll send somebody to do a walkthrough annually. Typically, if it's out of state, I either have a family member that might be in that area, or I'll pay an agent to just go do a property walk every year, or the handyman can do it. But other than that, I have a tenant portal set up online and people pay online.
Okay, and even like screening tenants?
I'm sorry, what?
Say that again, Lisa.
Tenants, how is screening the tenants? What is that process like when they're out of state?
So if you're out of state, you're probably gonna have to go there to get the tenant established, or you'll have you can contract an agent to do it. So screening is all the same way. I mean, everything is pretty much done online. I just put a tenant in a property that was 3 hours away. I did not go down there for it. She sent me her application online. I did her background check. I had a phone conversation with her. I paid an agent $50 to do her walkthrough and inspection, and I sent the keys in the mail to the agent and they transferred them over. It was no need for me to go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, guys, so listen, when y'all come on and ask the questions, just for effort of time and amount of people we have, let's try to keep the questions geared to what she's talking about. All right, Jamal, I'm coming to you. Jamal.
Thank you. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to touch back on the 10% that you're taking out of your rental rate.
Yes.
And even if, like you said, if it's $500, I mean, you're taking out $50, that's not really putting a substantial amount away if something does happen. Is there a certain amount that you want to get to before you actually start going the 10% route?
If you can, I mean, sometimes that's just not feasible. I like to at all times have 6 months worth of reserves for all of my properties stacked up. So all my properties, I like to have 6 months worth of reserves. Right now, COVID is the prime example for why I want to have 6 months worth of reserves. Landlords just sometimes don't know if tenants are paying. Thank God, most of mine have been paying on time. Not all of them though. But if no one could pay, I want to make sure that I'm good and I'm covered for a substantial amount of time. Plus, it's just like kind of like, it seems like when something bad happens, there's like a chain effect. I had multiple properties right now in the middle of COVID with major maintenance issues. I had a furnace catch on fire. I had a window busted out of my short-term rental. I had to have this money stacked up. I was able to file an insurance claim and they approved it. I wasn't sure if they were due to the age of the furnace. So they paid that out. So I only had to come out of pocket $1,500, but I almost was about to have to come out of pocket like $6,700. And that's substantial. So you want to make sure you have that saved up. I know it's hard building that up at first, but you just got to be diligent about it. I was even putting away more than the 10%. I was taking a lot of my cash flow that I was making for the first couple of months and just stacking it up on a new property just to make sure I have something to feel comfortable. Because when you have that account and you're worried about rentals, then you know your rentals come up and something comes up, you feel it so much more at ease when you can just pay to get it fixed and you're not worried trying to scrounge in, pull money from your savings and other things to take care of your property. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Let me go to the next person real quick. Let me mute you.
Someone said something in the chat while you're doing that. Do I use home warranties? I don't. Why? People always say, well, I just get a home warranty. If I add up the cost of home warranties versus all of my maintenance costs on my properties over the past, in 2019, I would have paid more money for home warranties than I would have for maintenance costs. Just for me, it's just not financially sound to pay all that money for maintenance costs. Some of my properties have no problems over 2 or 3 year span. I don't want to shell out that money if not necessary. And then a lot of the issues that I end up fixing, sometimes home warranties won't cover them anyways. When it's so I don't.
You know what, Lexus, I'm not going to take no more questions. It's too many because we'll be here
Okay.
forever. Like, so
All
guys,
right,
just
all right.
hold on to your questions till she's done her presentation, and then we can just have a slam out Q&A because I just
Okay.
think this is just going to delay everything right now because, you know, it's
All
just
right.
getting too
I don't
much.
want to. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I got to overrule y'all right now. Sorry.
No
Go ahead.
worries.
Do your thing, girl.
All right. Okay. We'll keep going on, right? And then hopefully I can get your questions. If not, you know, I'll put in the chat how to reach me. And then I have, if people are interested in rentals, I do a class just for that. So we'll go over that too. All right. So let's get back to this. I want to give y'all some real life examples. Okay. And I think that'll help make a lot of this make sense too for you all. when you're analyzing your deals. So let's do some real life examples. I'm going to throw my properties out there, and I might have to share another screen with y'all because I want you to see my actual rehab cost so you can see the sheet that I use for it. Okay. All right. So ARB, I'm doing 2 renovations right now, and I'll go over the first one. They both have the same number address, so it's real crazy, but it's Bighorn, and I'm going to type it in here for you. ARB, my ARB is tricky, right? So my ARB, when we did, the appraiser came out and I ran my own numbers, I came back at like 140. But then here's why it's so important when you have your ARB not to make things fit. I had another property on the same street that sold in a bundle deal, and it sold at like 115. So it could potentially kill my ARB. I'm trying to figure out how I can get that one thrown out because it was sold in a bundle deal. I had to call the agent about it, find out what was going on. I knew her from social media. Instagram is crazy. And I called her and she's like, oh, it was a bundle deal. They sold like 10 houses. So I'm trying to figure that out. If I can just not have that one in there because it's killing me. So if we just use the appraisal that I had of 140 from my hard money lender, I'm using hard money, right? And we're going to multiply that times 0.70. Okay, let me do my numbers because I'm a little slow. I'm going to get my calculator. 140 times 0.70. 140 times 0.70 equals 98,000, right? So we know my all-in is 98. That's the max I can pay, but I still got to take some other stuff out. So that equals 98K. So I'm like, whoo, my rehab costs. I'm gonna jump over here and y'all let me know. Can you see my sheet? No.
Yeah, I saw your Word doc.
All right, I'm gonna show you my budget sheet for the same property.
Yep, we see it.
Oh, this ain't the right one pulled up. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you now. Uh-oh. I want y'all to see this so you can, it'll help you. Oh man, I don't know. It's telling me I can't, oh, there it is, okay. All right, let me know if you can see this. I think you can. Okay.
Yeah, we see
So
it.
my total, okay, good. My total budget for my renovation cost was $15,150, right? And so what I do to find that out is, because everybody always wants to know, how do you figure out your rehab? I go line by line through this sheet, right? I put every single thing that I can think of in that I would have to include. And this helps me to be very specific about my budget and really know my true numbers. So if you're just walking through and you like, oh yeah, I think it's gonna cost me about 15,000 to repair. Yeah, but how did you get to those numbers? You need to know specifically, how did you find those numbers? But sometimes I might think something's gonna cost 20, and when I start plugging it in my sheet, and I'm like, oh, I do need to get new doors. You know, things start adding up and my total becomes more and the deal doesn't work. So I put everything in here, all the way down, HVAC, every single thing, anything you can think of, guys. And you can pull these up anywhere. This is a template I like. I like to keep things simple. I put my stuff in Excel, I track it, and then I track my expenses on the same sheet. So there's my budget. And on the same sheet, next thing I do, I'm putting in all of my expenses for that project. So if you see that, my dad makes me pay for his lunches because he worked and I gotta buy his lunch and his beer and all that. So you might see some crazy stuff in here.
Will you share this? Can we have a copy of this for the group?
I'll let you have it.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, so you see what I do? It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. And when I tell you I manage my projects on a daily basis, I have to plug in the rest of them this week. I'm behind on this sheet. But I use this budget sheet and that gets me my true numbers. All right, so I'm at 15,100. So I'll go back to my next sheet now. I'm gonna share back. And so I just wanted y'all to see that. All right, back to this one. So I'll do it now. So you can see that's where I got my 15,100 that I'm about to tell you for my rehab costs, right? So 98K minus 15,100 minus additional costs and fees, right? So I told you I used hard money for this. So that means I have to find out, well, what fees are the lender charging me? We're in COVID, so they charged me an extra $2,000 on fees. And so when I use hard money lender, I have to say, okay, what kind of fees do I have to pay? What closing costs do I have to pay? So I ended up paying $5K in closing costs. All right, and my purchase price on it was $76K. That's my purchase price. All right, so if I take that 76K, plus the 15,000 for my reno, plus 5K closing, I'm at what number, guys? $96K. So now do I do the deal? Perfect, y'all so smart. Y'all faster than me. Y'all great. Would I do this deal? Well, of course I would, because I did it. 98K. I know I had to be under 98K. I came in at 96. So I said, you know what, Alexis, I know I ran my numbers. I added in my closing costs, my purchase price, and I still feel comfortable doing that. So if I can sell at 140, might not sell it that much anymore. I'm being realistic. I think I'll sell at 130. We're over. See, this is where you get it, right? These numbers was tight and I'm already over. I'm over because when I started taking out the cabinets, I realized I'm not gonna be able to save these and just paint them. They're not gonna look good. So I had to take them out. So that was another $3,500 cost to get new cabinets. So I'm over budget $3,500. I'm trying to shave on some other stuff. I had some clearance stuff and all of that to get my costs down. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna be all in at, let's be conservative, 100K. All right. If I sell at 130 minus, get this, I still got commission I got to pay. So if an agent brings me a buyer, I know I got to pay them commission, which is going to total up to about $4,000. So 130 minus 4K minus, I'm probably going to be all in at 100,000 equals what? $26,000. That's going to be my profit. Doesn't seem like a ton, right? But this is only a 2.5 week renovation. So for 2.5 weeks of work, we'll make $26,000. Multiply that times, we're doing 3 of them like this, and the other ones have better profit margins. And you're making anywhere from $75,000 a month if you can do multiple ones at a time. So 2.5 weeks of work, we're going to probably make $26,000 after everything all in. You know, and I'm going to be happy about that and going about my life. Make sense? Yes, 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 yeses, yeses, yeses. All right, good. Hope y'all are getting it. All right. So let me do a, that was a fix and flip example. But here, it doesn't matter because I tell you, if you're doing a renovation on it, you're gonna use that same formula, even if you do a renovation. Somebody said that's half of my yearly earnings in 2 weeks. Yeah, see? And these aren't hard deals to come up. This is a dime a dozen. I can find these all day. I just have to run my numbers right. Me personally, I like to have a little bit more profit in them than the 26,000. I'm doing it, but I would like to have more profit. Why? Because I know things come up, and things come up, that 26 could turn into 16, could turn into 6 real quick. So I like to have a lot more cushion. This was a tight one, but I liked the house. I knew it wasn't going to take long to do it. I liked the street it was on. A lot of properties over there were selling in like one day. It's at a price point that's still friendly in COVID. Here in Atlanta, I know I'm opening myself up to a larger market at $140,000. And I was being conservative. Maybe I can get more than 40. So yeah, so let's just see I'll see how it goes, but I think conservatively I'll make 26. But if I couldn't, say I couldn't sell that house and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in too deep, I can't sell it. Why do I have to do the ARV times 0.70? Because I know if I want to refinance out of that property, my numbers have to work. Because I can refinance out of it and hold it. And now it's going to turn into a rental comp, right? So I'm going to use the same one as same exact sample, right? So if I say, all right, I know I probably, if I can't sell it, something happens and it's just sitting on the market, I'm going to say, all right, Alexis, what you going to do now, girl? I know the properties over there are renting for, my property is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They're renting for about $1,400 a month. Okay, Alexis, you're gonna have to try to make this work, all right? So mine's gonna be nice. I got new cabinets, I got granite tops, all the bathrooms are done, new doors, fresh paint, fresh floors. I'm gonna push it. I'm gonna say, Alexis, I think I'm gonna be able to get $1,500 a month for it, all right? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, $1,500 a month. All right, that's gonna be my rental comp, plus taxes, insurance, mortgage payment. I know I'm gonna have to pay that because I'm gonna refi out of this deal. And I'm gonna have to refi out at, what am I refining? The all-in cost. So say 100,000. 100,000. What's that mortgage payment gonna be like for me? Probably 700 with taxes, insurance, everything. Probably gonna be paying 700 on it. 700 with interest rates, how it is, depending on your credit, of course, right? I've worked very diligently on my credit, so I've been afforded the luxury to get good rates. It ain't always been great, but it is now, so I'm happy about that. So I'll probably pay $700, maybe less, maybe more, a little bit, roughly 700, all right? So taxes, insurance, mortgage payment. And so we're gonna do $700 total. So my 1,500 minus 7 is gonna give me a cash flow of what? $800 a month. Times 0.90. Why? We're gonna take that, no, times, no, minus, I'm doing wrong. Minus 150, 10% of what our rental rate is. We're stacking that up, we're not touching it. So now what is my cash flow? What am I cash flowing? $650 a month. Would I do that and make $650 a month sitting at home every month? I absolutely would. Yes, I would. I see some questions. Am I using an LLC or personal? I refinance into my LLCs. That's just me. Do I refinance into my personal name? I try not to. I just refied a property that was, I just refied a property in my, no, it's in my business name. I have some properties in my personal name. I got some properties in my business. I'm trying to move everything out of my personal name though. All right, so I try to refi these in my LLC. But regardless, we're gonna cash flow $650 a month. Does that make sense for everybody? And you can do this all day. I'm telling you, it's never like you got to do this every month. You got to do 5 a month. But at $650, if you can do a deal like this at $650 and do 2 a year for the next 5 years, you just added $6,500 a month to your cash flow. $6,500 a month. That's life-changing for some people. Life-changing, more than a lot of people's salaries. So this is something that's obtainable. You ain't got to rush and try to be a millionaire overnight. It takes time, and you gradually build up your rental portfolio. I didn't get all my properties last week. I have built them up over time, a couple a year, a multi-unit this year, a multi-unit last year. They add up. It all adds up. All right. Does anybody need another example?
On YouTube, they say, yeah.
Okay. Oh, we on YouTube too? Okay.
Yeah, because it blocked out Zoom. My account holds 500 people, but it only let 100. But I told you it was like 300 people registered. And
Oh, okay.
it feels like I got 200 text messages saying like, we can't get in. They all screenshotted me. The capacity is full thing from Zoom. I'm like, all right, let me try to stream it to y'all then.
Okay. I got one more property. I'll show you. Same way. I use the same deal. I use the same budget sheet. I use the same template. And I do, this is just how I run my numbers, guys. You can get more in depth and more detail with it, but I like to keep it high level. I tell you one trick I always use, right? Underestimate your ARV and overestimate your repair costs. If it still works and you fit it in this formula, you got a good deal, right? And I'm a believer in that. I always want to be very conservative on my ARV because just like I told you, a house sold here, an investor sold something under market value. You just never know. Things can adjust by the time you start and you're done. So I always say underestimate the ARV and overestimate your repair costs. Something always comes up. Something always does. All right. I'm getting a whole bunch of questions. I don't know. Matt's going to kill me if I answer those. We're going to keep going. I'm like looking at the questions and I'm like, focus, Alexis, because I want to answer. And I'm like, yeah, no.
I mean, do you? But I think I'm telling you, you're gonna start something you can't finish.
Okay. All right. I won't. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, I would say keep it going until you're done.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give y'all another example. And then I think we'll do questions because I do want to get to some of y'all's questions. I know y'all got a lot of them, but if y'all can keep them on topic to analyzing the deal first, and then, look, I'll answer your rental questions. I don't mind. But let's focus on analyzing deal because I really want to make sure everybody understands this is so important. It does seem simple till you get in it. You get in it and your numbers don't be right. And then you're not going to say Alexis didn't teach you because Alexis did. Okay. So I want to make sure you do this. Don't just say it looked like a good deal and my numbers look good and all right, it sounds good. Yeah, because things start adding up and your money get a little shorter and a little shorter and a little shorter and a little shorter, and then you be at the closing table and they be writing you a 16-cent check. You're not going to talk to me about it, okay? All right. So we're going to do one more. I want to make sure you understand. I got another property I'm working on right now. 16-cent check is real. Just so you know, I've gotten one of those. Okay, I'll tell you the truth. So I'm doing another property. It's called Upland. That's what we name. Well, that's the street name, so that's what we name after the street name. Okay. My ARV on it. It's a little better. It's got some better numbers. I was able to negotiate a little better than the daggum Bighorn deal. So I did good on this one. Here we go. ARV 160. $160K. All right. Times 0.7 again. What's that gonna give me, y'all? Y'all faster than me. 112. 112K. I'm already, I know that's the number I'm shooting for. I'm at 112. All right. My purchase price on this property, the same amount as the other one. Win some, you lose some. Got a little better deal on this one. I paid 76 for it. All right. And it's a nicer house, and it's a bigger house, and the bathrooms are bigger, and the kitchen's bigger, and it's got a nice new deck that we put on there. So since we put that nice new deck on and it's bigger, our paint costs went up. And so what's my budget on this one? 23K. All right, it's my reno budget. Guess what I am? I am on budget on this one. I think we're gonna end it at 23K. This might be a new Corona Alexis because I never on budget. But we're on budget on this one. Okay. What were my fees to close it out? Since I had just did that Bighorn deal, my hard money lender, I went right back to them. They dropped the 2K that they were charging because of the coronavirus. And they said, you know what, you're doing one deal already, you ain't got to pay that. So I only had to pay 3K out of pocket. All right, so what am I all in? I'm all in. $76 plus 23 plus 3, 102. Where did I have to be at, guys? 112. So am I doing that deal? Oh, I'm doing that deal. I'm doing that deal. I'm all in at 102. If I can sell it at 160 minus commission again, right? So 160, I'm all in at 102. 160 minus 102 minus commission is 3%. So 1.6 times 3. I got to pay he or she 4.8 thousand. So 4.8 plus 102 equals 106.8. 160 minus 106.8. And I can make $53,000 on this deal. Guess how long the work is? 3 weeks, guys. 3-week renovation. 3-week reno. Make 53K. Put on the market. Now, what happens if I can't rent it? If I can't sell it? Whew, I want my 53K. We're going to have to sell this one. I need my 53 so that I can go flip some other properties that I can do, right? Somebody said, let your cousin hold 20. I wish I could. You know, I got to pay all my daddy's food and beer and all that stuff he be charging into the project, making my budget go up. So I think I can rent this one out for $1,600, right? Minus, I'm all in at 102. So my mortgage payment, insurance, everything, I'm probably gonna be around 750. Let's just do that. Matt the money man. So 1,600 minus 750 minus how much are we putting up for maintenance? $160, of course, always. Equals 1,600 minus 750. Somebody doing it for me. 690, thank you. I was like, is somebody gonna save me so I don't have to type all this in? 690. So I can make 650 a month or 690. Well, I can make 650 with less money in. I want my 53K. So I'm gonna need to sell this one because I can make more money. I can take that 53K and go buy 2 properties that I can make 60-90 on for $50,000. So for this one, I want to flip it. If I just can't sell it, then I'll rent it out and I'll take my $690 a month until it gets to a point. I might do a 1-year lease and say, you know what? The market's better, the conditions are better. Let me now put it back on the market and sell it. And that's how I do. All my properties might not sell right when I want them to. All right. Most of mine do, because I know I have to do quality renovations that people want and price it at a good price to make them sell. But some of them might not work that way. Then if you're in the right location, you can take that 690, flip that in to 1,800 a month if you put it on short-term rental. You know, so it's just all about what your exit strategy is, right? We're just gonna do our analysis. We're gonna find out if the numbers work, and then we're gonna figure out what our exit strategy is. Make sense? Let me get some yeses, nos, something, something, something. Yeah, okay. I'm glad y'all are learning. Listen, it's not hard, but you gotta be consistent and you gotta not be anxious. Don't be anxious for anything. And be patiently waiting on the right deals, right? So you see these two. You see Alexis doing 2 deals right now. Dang, she got 2 deals, but guess how many I had to analyze to get this? Probably upward of 40 deals to get to. I don't even look at the trash ones. So really even just doing the numbers on 40 of them just to get down to 2 that I was willing to actually pay for. So it's about increasing your numbers and actually putting in the time to analyze your deals and not being rushed. You know, I don't let people bully me into paying prices for properties that I know aren't going to fit into this because I'm anxious to get one. I'll ride a couple months not doing anything if I have to do that. Okay? Because you never want to be so quick to want to do something that it comes to the point where you're stressed out and this is not fun for you and you're losing money. That's not why we're doing this. We don't do this to lose money. We do it to make money. All right. We do it to set up generational wealth. And so we have to be strategic about the deals that we're doing. Make sense, guys? I hope that was helpful. Matt, what you think?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Let the floodgates open.
Let them open.
Yeah.
You sure about this?
Sure, I can handle it.
All right, guys, we're gonna let the floodgates open right now. Let me see. Where are you guys? Oh, what happened here? Okay. We got 10 people raise their hands. Please, guys, let's not have 1,000,001 questions.
One question a person.
Yeah, for effort
if you
of
want
time.
in depth, listen. Am I able to plug myself, Matt? I don't know y'all's protocols.
Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing.
I'm gonna put it in the chat, right? I do one-on-one sessions. I got a Corona special just for the month of May, right? $69 one-on-one session, and I'll help you get a plan in place, a 3-month to 6-month plan to get you going or get you scaling up. Really all it is about organizing and getting your plan together and really getting it going. So I'll put my my calendar invite in there, and I'm doing 3 classes next week, virtual classes, how to find a deal, how to fund a deal, and my very, very popular one, finding lots of land for under $1,000. I buy my daughter lots of land for thousands of dollars for her birthday. And so we have 4 so far. And so I've been showing people, I've had a lot of people in my class picking up land for under $1,000. So I'll be teaching that as well.
All right, so here we go. Carrie Clark.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay, so I started out with one question, and actually, Alexis, I do
Still
follow
only
you.
got one.
I know. I follow you on Instagram, and between you, Aisha, and Cousinita, I am like information overload.
Oh,
So my question to you, because I'm also going to do the one-on-one.
okay.
I have a couple of deals right now that I'm looking at.
All right.
But I want to understand, how do you fund your deals? Is it just hard money? Because what you showed us, the description, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out as a buy and hold how I turn around and then give back the hard money lender their money.
You refi out of it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I'd have to refi out like I would a fix and flip.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You refi and you're just going to hold it. And that's it. And that's why if I'm going to refi out, I'm going to do that first formula that I did. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to say, you know what? Let me make sure I'm planning to refi out of this. I got to stay within my numbers. And then I need to do the second formula so I can find out how much money I'm going to make on a cash flow. And so that's all you're doing. You're doing the refinance, and then you're all you're doing is refining out of the hard money. That's all.
Okay, so with your one-on-one, then I could just go through whatever I currently have before and just break those down to you to see which one would be the best
Of
deal.
course, of
Okay,
course.
sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. So look, I'm gonna take a question from YouTube right now. Tyrone A says, are you using wholesalers to find these deals? And Bridget Cummings wants to know, are your hard money lenders still funding deals right now?
I use wholesalers. I have some that I trust and select. They cherry pick properties for me. So I do use wholesalers. I still buy properties on auction.com. I might luck up and find something on Zillow. But you know what I do too? I get a lot of properties from neighborhoods that I'm in. If I'm doing a reno, I'm telling you, this is about networking and meeting as many people as possible. That's how I get a lot of my deals. If I'm doing a property that I might have got from a wholesaler and I'm doing it in the neighborhood, I'm talking to everybody in that neighborhood. My dad's talking to them. We talking to everybody, find out if they want to sell their house. And that's how we pick up more properties. Direct to seller, wholesalers, auction. You know, I use all methods available out there. And I kind of try to build a neighborhood. So I stay in a lot of neighborhoods for a while before I move on. So.
Good questions. And are your hard money lenders still funding right now?
So a lot of them are not funding, but I'm using a couple that are still funding. Lending Home, I know they're still funding. I have business lines of credit that I use for my deals. So whatever I have available, I always tell people the money is not the issue. You can get the money, right? You can find the money. Here's what you do first. Fix your credit, get an emergency savings, and then start working on your funding. Having good business credit, lines of credit, and hard money lenders, private lenders. I use all of them to fund my deals. So.
Okay, cool. Galaxy, whoever's on the Galaxy, you're unmuted. Okay. We're going to the next one. Allison, Brooklyn in the house, stand up.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Representing
Quick
the
question.
borough that's thorough.
Always and forever. Quick
Yes.
question. In reference to the rehabs, what percentage do you put aside for contingencies? And have you ever had a situation where you didn't plan accordingly?
Yeah, I've had so many of them. It's always something that comes up. I like to put 10% away for contingencies. That's going to be in your total rehab numbers.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right, so we coming to Ernest. Ernest.
Ernest
Okay.
ain't ready.
Hey, Ernest ain't ready. Gotta go. Who's this? Stacy.
Yes, hi, I'm here.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
All right, great. I'm in Brooklyn also.
Brooklyn represent, baby.
Alhamdulillah. I'm in a contract with a property in Virginia, right outside of Richmond. It's an air property, and the sellers are very old and on a tight budget. So they're asking me to put a deposit towards their legal fees, and it would be refunded to me in the back end. We've been in contract since like November. So I'm wondering, should I stay in this? Like, would that be a good move to make, or should I make some adjustments to it, or what?
You broke up some. You said they are what now?
The sellers, they're of age. They're in their 80s or 90s. And
Okay.
it's air property, so they have some legal things they need to take care of, but they don't have the money. So they're asking me to put up a deposit towards their legal fees, and they would, I would get it back in the back end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is easy. Hell no. I'm not paying nobody's nothing up front. What if the deal doesn't go through or you decide to walk away? How are you going to get that money back?
That's the thing.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
So
All right,
find you
cool.
another deal, don't do it.
okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Stacy. All right, so what are we coming to now? Let's see. Justin,
Hey, I'm here.
what's going on, brother?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Good.
So Alexis, I have a question for you. As far as hard money, I noticed on a couple deals you have fees to close out, and you'll have like 3K. But I've seen a couple hard money lenders where they want you to put 20% down. Is that not the case with the ones you're working with?
Yeah, you can. You might have to put down 20%, or 10%. It just depends. Right now, I think people are asking for 20% down of the purchase price, and then they are giving you 100% of the rehab cost. That's like kind of standard. Once you've done quite a few renovations with the same hard money lender, your terms will change. And if they haven't, I say after your first deal, I'm always trying to renegotiate what my terms are. So you get to the point where some of them will do 100% lending. So
Oh, okay, and that's where you're at, right?
yeah, with some lenders.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Alexis,
Ernest, he said his mic failed him. He said he wanted to know how to find out where people are buying. Well, people buy everywhere, Ernest. They do. I say you price your house right, you can figure out where people are selling. Now, are there areas that are growing more than others? Yes, there are. Is demand higher in certain areas? Yeah, it's what we're calling gentrification. People are moving, being pushed out of their properties, and others are moving in, and the values are increasing rapidly in those areas. It's not too hard to find the gentrified areas, but I always say this, right? I want to be ahead of where everybody else is investing. If everybody's there, I don't want to be there. I'm too late to the party. I want to be there when people aren't there. How do I do that? I sit in on city council meetings. I'm talking to city managers. I want to find out what developments are coming in the next 3 to 5 years. And those are areas I want to start investing in. Even if I have to do a buy and hold in those areas till they start to change, I want to get ahead of where people are. Because the ones that are most successful are the people who get the property for the lowest amount. If everybody's already there, you're paying at a premium. So you want to try to get ahead of where people are. Now, do people rent everywhere? People rent everywhere. There's not a place people won't rent for a particular price. People always say, well, I don't want to buy houses that are in bad school zones. I do, and I rent them out and I have no problem. You know, people live everywhere. Somebody has to have somewhere to live. It's all about what your price point is. And I don't care as long as I have a good ROI. So I have minimums I want to make. If I'm making $500 cash flow, that's fine for me. I don't need to do that on a $400,000 property. I can buy something for $100,000 in an area that might be changing. And so those are things you might want to think about.
all right, so let's go to, I hope I don't butcher your name, Oladeji. I hope I didn't butcher you.
Oladeji got his picture up. What's up?
What's up? What's up? No problem. Thanks. My question for you was, what resources do you use for comps?
I use, you can use, I'm a real estate agent, but people always like, oh, you're an agent, it's easy for you. I do the same search as everybody else does. I like to go on Zillow because I like to see the pictures of properties, right? And a lot of these comp finders, you can't necessarily see the pictures, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm comparing my property against those that are going to be specifically comparable. I know I do granite countertops. I know I'm doing new cabinets. I'm doing hardwood floors. I want to make sure I'm picking those that are as similar to my property as possible. So I just go do a Zillow search. I look in the last 90 days what's sold. And I tell people anybody can run those same searches.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
Thank you. All right, let's go back to the Galaxy. Let's try you one more time, Galaxy. Galaxy.
Yo,
Oh,
Talk to
there
me.
they go.
There you go.
I had a question in regards to, is there any strategy you have on doing price with a cash out that you're going to hold?
If I'm gonna do a refi with a cash out,
Yeah, that you're gonna hold basically.
so a strategy, so if I'm doing a renovation, right? Or
Okay.
I'll tell you this, I bought a property down in Valdosta, Georgia. I bought it on auction.com. I paid $26,000 for it. I put $3,000 of work into it. I then rented it out for $850. I close on Thursday, thank goodness. I had to hold it for 6 months because I am closing on it under my personal guarantee, not under a business. Because the minimum that I'm doing wouldn't allow me to do commercial lending because they stop at like 70,000. This one, I'm only pulling out 50,000. My payment on it is going to be $320 a month, still making that $850. And look, I'm all in 30,000, but I'm getting $50,221 back.
Okay, got it. And then when you're putting properties in like LLC, are you still responsible for the loan, or the LLC is responsible for the loan?
Yes, no, it is the LLC responsible with a personal guarantee.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, so let's go to Joseph.
Hello?
Yeah.
So just so I want to clear up something somebody said. They said, I don't think you're required to hold it for a specific period of time. If the property appreciates in value, I think you're entitled to refi whenever you want. Yeah, no, that's wrong. If you're refining under a commercial lender, yeah, you can. You don't have to wait a specific time, but you have to be, just like I stated, they're not going to do like a $30,000 property. So you're going to have to do, but if you do it with a private conventional lender, I had to wait 6 months. I wasn't able to just refinance out of it right then. So I had to wait 6 months and then I was able to refi, and I put it in my name.
100% facts.
Want to make sure. I just wanted to clear that up because I saw it. And I was like, don't tell people that, because they're going to be got the property and they're going to be trying to refi next month. And they're going to be like, you got to wait 6 months.
Agreed.
Hello?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so in the first formula, the 70%, that is based off an LTV that an end buyer would typically pay for, right?
Loan to value, yeah. And why do we do 70%? Because that's pretty much what, if you refi out of it, that's all the lender is going to give you is 70% loan to value. Loan to value your ARV. So that's what the lender is going to give you. So that's what the minimum is. Most hard money lenders, they're only going to give you 70%. They won't do the deal if your all in is above more than 70% loan to value.
Okay, and does that value stay the same? Like, for example, if you're buying a higher end property, does it go to 80%?
That I don't know. I think most hard money lenders are doing 70%. I don't want to misquote you. I don't know that. Okay. I'm not aware of it though.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joseph. All right, let's see. Got mad questions. All right, Clarence.
Yes, sir.
There you go. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So, Alexis, I have a few questions. So, first,
you got one.
I got two. Can I get two?
Matt is the moderator.
Go ahead. Just make it quick.
How do you determine the cost for each thing you put in the property? Because I know square footage is different. The amount of paint you use based on the square footage. How do you come up with these numbers?
So my rehab costs, how do I come up with them?
Yes.
So I always tell people, if you don't have experience, right, you need to take a contractor to do your estimate with you. So if you're using a contractor, you want to get contractor estimates. That's how you're going to get your rehab costs. I walk through, I can do calculations based off of square footage. So if I know I got to paint the whole house, I know my painters are going to do pretty much like $1 something a square foot. I estimate it that way. I know 5 gallons of paint is going to cover certain amount of square footage. I don't even remember what it is. I got to take my cheat sheet. But everything like that, even when it comes to flooring, I know I'm covering 1,200 square feet of floor. My flooring people, they're going to do it at $1.50 a square foot. That's what their install cost is. Plus, I know I'm going to have to buy the material. So if I'm doing 1,000 square feet, I know the material is going to cost me, if I'm buying $1.50 a square feet, then I know my flooring cost is going to be $1,500 plus whatever my labor cost is. And so when I showed y'all that budget sheet, I have a column for labor and I have a column for material. And so I add them up both ways. So if I'm buying finishes, fixtures, I'm adding up how many sinks I got. I know fixtures cost $89. I know lights cost $39. I mean, I'm adding all of that stuff up to a T. And so if you can't do that, you need to bring a contractor out there that can give you real numbers, okay? Because sometimes my daddy tell me, Alexis, you don't always deal with real numbers. You need real numbers. So get these real numbers, okay?
Okay. Do you have cookie cutter like stuff that you just use on all your properties, or do you mix it up?
I don't use cookie cutter. That's just me. I have a palette of colors. Depending on which house I'm doing, I'll use those colors, but I like to throw in my different flavor. And it kind of just depends on the level of renovation I'm doing. I like to try new things. The house I just did, I did butcher block countertops. They came out great. Haven't been using those before. It's just how I feel. I design my own property. So, you know, whatever I feel like fits that neighborhood and that house.
Okay. And last question, do you have to have your property already ready to go before you go to your hard money lender? Or can you get
have
approved? for a certain
preliminary
amount?
talks with them to get approved, but they're not going to start the process until you got a property locked in.
Okay, but you can go get approved beforehand.
You can, yeah, they'll run and see if you'll qualify.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. That was 3.
All right, let me take a question from YouTube real quick, right? So, do you list your own properties?
I do. I'm cheap. Yeah, didn't I tell you I don't pay for no project manager? Of course I'm listing my own properties. I'm not trying to pay nobody no money.
Mhm.
No, I do. But if you don't, listen, you have to factor that in as well. Just like you saw me do those commission, you're gonna have to probably double that on up if you have somebody listing it for you as well. So then you'll have to pay commission for the listing side and the selling side.
So we got Stacy.
Yes,
Go ahead, you're on.
I asked my question already. Well,
Oh, you
actually,
did? Oh, my bad. I probably didn't lower your hand in. My bad.
I have another question though. Alexis, you
Okay.
to collect the rent? What portal do you collect your rent?
I use Tenant Cloud.
Okay, all right, great.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I put the link to my classes and one-on-one. Somebody else was asking. I put it back in there. I don't know how to pin anything in here, so I don't know.
All right, so Sabrina.
Chill. I was writing down the Tenant Cloud. She give us so much stuff. My pen.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brooklyn trying to take over. The Bronx in here. What's up?
Okay, we got the boogie down right now. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, my question is quick. In the formula, how you doing, Alexis? Thank you for this, by the way.
No problem.
Your formula, the fix and flip one, where you have the when it says BRRRR, what does that stand for? I just want to make sure.
So that's the BRRRR method. It's when people you buy, rehab, refi, and rent out.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So
Cool.
it's the BRRRR method, and you can Google that. It's a ton of videos on YouTube about BRRRR method that people use. Yeah. Buy, rehab, renovate, refinance, rent, and refinance.
All right. Appreciate it. I'll look that up. Thank you.
No problem. And then someone said, and repeat. Yes, that's a key part of it.
All right, so let's go to I can't even pronounce your name. Darius? Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's me. I'm here.
Darius. What's going on, King?
Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you, Alexis. Appreciate you, MG.
No doubt. Appreciate you, King.
My only question was, do you make, well, because you made yourself available, you said you're gonna post your schedule, so I'm probably gonna jump on that. That seems valuable to me. I was curious about whether or not you were going to make available your tools, your Microsoft tools.
Yes, I did. I did say that I would go ahead and drop y'all that Excel document.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out with Matt how to get you all that Excel.
Gotcha. For Tremaine?
Yes, thank you.
That works for me.
Yeah, I try to at least be out for that. Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all you got, King?
Yep, that was like the most important thing to me because I'm a big tool user. I'm a real big tool user. So if I know I have a spreadsheet that will allow me to put three or four pieces of information in there, and it'll do the rest of the calculations for me, that allows me to go from one property to the next faster. And I'm definitely trying to start building an analyzation pipeline. Definitely trying to get to that level.
I love it. We're gonna help you get there.
Thank you.
Stay up. All right, who's next? Aunt Wright, let's go.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
What's up, Aunt? How are you?
All right. Just one quick question. Well, one, when you said you're refinancing into the LLC, are you refinancing into the same LLC or individually per deal, like per property?
Good question. Very good question. It depends too. So my short-term rentals, like if I'm refinancing out for a short-term rental, they go in their own LLC. I might have some of my smaller value properties all in the same LLC. Why? I am always thinking about limiting my risk. So if my risk tolerance is higher, say your risk tolerance is 300,000, 500,000, but I have 6 properties that are only valued at like 75, 80,000. I won't necessarily set up separate LLCs for those. I do set up separate LLCs for my short-term rentals. Why? Because I have a lot of money flowing in and out of those. I have to file my taxes separately on those properties because I do receive 1099s on them. So I put those in separate LLCs for sure, but I do have multiple LLCs, multiple properties in one LLC.
Okay, that's good information. Now, with the properties you said like 75,000. So that actually leads to another question. Like when you're doing properties, when you're trying to refi on a property that's less than 100,000, have you been finding like issues with trying to get it refied?
For under 150,000?
No, for under 100. I just ran into the issue with not being able to refi a property because it wasn't enough in it for them to even do it because it was under 100.
Yeah, so I don't know if you missed, but a couple questions ago, I said that when you're doing commercial loans, they have a minimum. So usually it's around 70,000, depends on the lender that you're working with. So I'm refinancing one now and I had to put it in my personal name because it's only a $50,000 loan. So I do that multiple times.
Okay, and are you using the same lender or person to do that deal? Like that you would use one that was 140, 160?
It depends. I have used conventional lenders and commercial lenders. It just depends on the deal. And I always tell people, if one person won't do your deal, you need to go to somebody else. If one lender won't do it and they say that it's not enough money in it, go to another lender that will. Somebody will do the deal.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. All right, so let's go. Justin.
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, Alexis, this actually goes to the question that you were just answering. With your LLCs, how fast are you getting them set up? Like, are you going through LegalZoom or somewhere else?
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it. My bad.
Okay. You know, it varies on state to state, right? And here in Georgia, I'm able to go on Secretary of State website. I can set up my LLC. If I need it expedited, I can get it in 24 hours for an additional fee. So typically it takes 3 to 5 business days to have the LLC set up. As soon as I get the LLC set up, I can then go on the IRS website, get my EIN number, usually get it instantly. And then I can go to the bank. I take my LLC paperwork from Secretary of State, which is my articles of incorporation. I then take my EIN number, and then I have it's not LegalZoom, what is it? I use a legal database and I do my operating agreement soon. I can't think of the name of it right now. I can't remember what it was, but any of these lending sites, I have a membership to them, and I just do an operating agreement for that LLC, and then go to the bank, set up the bank account, and bam, you're in business.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Carrie, coming to you.
Hi, I have another question. So for the hard money lender, if I can only get a loan for 100,000, and analyzing the deal portion of that, if I decided to bundle properties, would I do the same formula based on the whole loan, or would it be based on the individual properties that are part of that bundle?
I think the lender is going to make all of them still fit in that. Like all of them still are going to have to carry themselves, even if you are doing a bundle on them.
Okay, so then I would, so just so that I'm clear. So when I do the formula that you gave us, I would do it separately, even though they're giving me a loan for the entire bundle.
Yeah, every property definitely
Okay.
it should be able to carry themselves. Because even though you're buying it in a bundle, you might not want to sell them in a bundle. So each property is going to have to carry itself.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Kimberly, coming to you.
Hi, can you guys
Hey.
hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hi. So I was really late, so I hope that you guys are saving this. So because I want to see your Excel sheets and stuff. But I do actually have a question. I purchased my first property in Newark in November. It's a 3-family, and I want to refinance and take the equity and purchase my next property, but it's currently still being renovated under a 203K. How long do I have to wait
Did you
before
DM me?
I can? I'm sorry?
Did you DM me?
Yes.
This sounds familiar.
Yes, I did. I DM'd you like late last night after I was watching, because I just signed up for EYL. So
Okay.
I'm just kind of like going through everything.
I was just reading my DMs and I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar.
Yeah. So because I'm trying to like use this time, in the house to, I guess, prepare myself for the next move.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to, take the money, but then they were like throwing in words like HELOC, because I watched the story with Julian Gordon last night, and I'm just like, I'm confusing myself. So I don't know. I just want to know like what's the next step, or what
Let me
should
ask you
my
this,
next
Kimberly. How much is the property worth right now? How much do you owe?
375 is what the property is worth, but with the 203K, it was 475.
And how much do you owe? 375 with the 203K.
No, 475 with the 203K.
And how much is it worth?
I believe.
What did that appraisal say?
450.
Okay, so you went 110% over the value then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you right now, you don't have equity in your house.
Okay.
You're actually, see, 203K, and just for you guys who don't know this, right? 203K allows you to go 10% above the property value. No, let me say this again. It lets you go above 10% of the ARV, right? So if you guys don't understand what she just said, she put about 100K into it, but the house only came in for 450. So that extra 25,000, she had more wiggle room with the 203K. 203K allows you to do that because this program is designed for primary residents, not for investors.
Yeah.
But people want a house hack and use 203Ks. And if you're working with the wrong loan officer, you'll put yourself in a position, not trying to call you out or anything like that, but
No, it's
just
okay.
I think this is a learning lesson, right?
Mhm.
Of why I'm so vocal online, because loan officers are order takers. Like for me, if you would have came to me and did this, I would have told you flat out, this is a terrible deal.
Okay.
You know, never go above. Don't use that extra 10% cushion, especially if your mindset is to house hack and doing all of that good stuff, because right
Mhm.
now you're about 5% above the market value of your property. So you don't have any room to do anything right now. So you're actually stuck in this loan until you get some sort of equity. Now, this is a 2-family or 3-family?
It's a 3-family that I'm turning into 4, but
So
I
now
didn't
you're
say
doing a
that.
conversion, right? Which that's a
Yeah.
great thing about a 203K that allows you to convert, do conversions from 1 family to 2 to 2 to 3 to 3 to 4.
Mhm.
But on the flip side, when you're trying to refinance, especially a cash out refinance on a 3 or 4 family, your loan to value is capped on a cash out refinance to 70% of the value.
Mm.
So with you going to that 4 family and convert in 3 or 4, and you going 110% or 105% of the ARV from the jump street, you're not in position to really refinance probably at any point in time. You're probably going to be
Okay.
stuck in this 203K unless, where's the property at? I'm sorry, you said Jersey, but where in Jersey?
Newark.
I mean, in Newark, I mean, look, they have so much going on with development that
Mhm.
in a couple years, could it skyrocket? Possibly. But for you to refi, you would probably, and I'm just doing numbers off the top of my head, you would probably need like a 650, 700,000 value, somewhere around there for you to pay off that loan, plus probably take out 50 to 100K.
Okay.
So in this case, in order for you to borrow money from your house, you need to have the equity in the home. And when you go 3 to 4 family, you got to figure you're maxed out. You got to always leave 30% of equity in a home because the lenders won't let you refinance, especially because you want to go from a FHA to a conventional loan,
Mhm.
because that's how you're going to house hack it, right? If you go 4-3-2-1 and you start off with the FHA, you got to get out of the FHA to use it again.
Mhm.
So in this situation, for you to get into the conventional, you have to be at a 70 cash out, 70 LTV cash out, or 75% LTV on a rate and term refinance. But in this situation, unfortunately, you're going to have to ride this one out.
Okay.
But I think you did a good move by doing the conversion. Newark is definitely up and coming, and it's definitely going to cash flow because you can
That's
probably
what
get
I was
what?
gonna say.
You
It's
can get like
definitely
what,
gonna
15?
cash flow. It's
Yeah.
definitely that it's gonna do.
How much per unit can you get?
So I was gonna stay in the first unit, but I've decided not to. So now that's gonna be like maybe another 1,800, 1,500 on the second floor, 12 on the third floor, and then probably another 12 for the fourth unit. So altogether it's probably about 5,800 a month.
And how much is your mortgage?
3.
Yeah, you're winning.
Yeah.
You're winning. So, again, pros and cons to everything in life, right? But now, did you get a seller's concession?
Yes.
So and it paid all your costs, right?
No, I still ended up putting about, and I did that math last night too. I still ended up putting about 17K in the house. Like
That's
with
perfect.
yeah.
That's perfect because you're getting 33,600 returns. So you doubled up your money in 1 year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So on the flip side, and this is, I'm so happy that, y'all, I'm telling you, I just read your DM literally 5 minutes ago, and I was going to respond after this was over. That's why when you said, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, you just DM'd me. But
Yeah.
this is a perfect lesson Well, number one, about 2 or 3 Ks. Number two, on choosing your team the right way, right? That's the
Yeah.
most important thing about real estate. I heard Alexis talking a lot about her father, right? Her father. That's her team. He has experience. She knows he's not going to try to screw her, right? Your team is the most important thing, because if you're, especially with financing, if your loan officer doesn't know what the hell they're doing, if they don't have an investment standpoint, the only thing that they're thinking about, yo, a $475,000 loan, FHA, I'm making 4 points on that deal. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about your end goal, your strategy. But on the flip side, you never buy an investment property, especially a rental property, for equity, right? You always buy for cash flow, because the markets go up and down. You never know what's going to happen. So I think you made a super power move. And I think this is super positive, because you basically just gave yourself a part-time job making $33,600 a year in your sleep.
Yeah.
So
It was supposed to be a house hack. Like it didn't start off as like solely investment. It just started off as me moving somewhere where I didn't have to pay the rent, you know? And then midway through, I was just like, you know what? I don't want to move to Jersey. So I'm from Long Island. So I was like, I'm going to stay, you
Elmont,
know,
right?
where I'm at. Yeah, Elmont.
Yeah, I peeped that.
So yeah. Okay. All right.
But shout out to you though, because you made a mistake, because with the team member, they failed you, but also you still winning. So I don't want to try to like discourage you or anything like that. You're making
No, no.
$33,000 a year, you know, off of 17,000. That's a flip.
That's a flip. That is a flip. You're right.
You won.
You're right.
Now, my advice to you, don't spend any of that money for the first 12 months.
No. Mm-mm.
Put that
I'm
joint
gonna
in the
just stack it. I'm gonna just stack it.
Stack it to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then year 2, now I would start using that to probably try to get into another investment property or something like that.
And what about that HELOC thing, you know, on the property? What about that? Like, is that even an option?
Same thing. You need the equity. You need at least 30% equity to do it.
All right, got it. I'll be bothering you some more. I'm
Please do. I got you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
All right,
guys.
welcome to
Thank you.
EYLU.
Thank you.
All right. That was good.
That was for you.
I hope y'all listen to that, man, for real. Because that was a story and a good lesson.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right, question. I know you mentioned earlier about the auction.com. So I've looked some properties up there, but the private money lenders and hard money lenders won't fund those deals because they say you don't have them under control. So how do you go about doing those?
I pay cash.
So it's cash. You got to do cash.
Mm-hmm.
Would you risk credit? You know, using like credit cards and stuff like that to get one of those properties, or you wouldn't recommend it?
Absolutely. I use as many people's money as I can. So if I have a business credit card with a limit of $80,000 and I want to buy a property all cash on auction, I'll figure out how to pull the money off. There's a lot of creative ways. You know, I have businesses in place. I can invoice a business and get the money off PayPal. I'll pull the money off a card, especially if my card is zero interest for 12 or 18 months. Because I know that I can use their money, no interest, 12, 18 months. I can buy a property. I can have it fixed up and have it rented out, refinanced out, or sold within 12 months.
So send the money to Square, take my credit card, pay Square, and then send that
I'm
money.
not telling you
to my
to
bank
do
account.
that.
I got you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Not on this YouTube.
All right, let me see who else. I'm trying to get somebody. Kenny. And then Nikki, I'm coming to you next. Kenny. Gotta unmute yourself. All right, we gotta move on.
Oh, won't Kenny.
All right, Nikki.
All right, Nikki.
Nikki.
Matt Garland, what's going on?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
Not much. This is Brian Houston and Nikki Houston, myself and my wife. Alexa actually answered our question. So we wanted to thank her for providing that information. And also to you, Matt, I got to give you a shout out. I met you on Facebook, but I'm the guy who went to the Historically Black College. So want to shout out to the HBCUs for the love and support.
You said, I didn't hear you. Say that again, King?
I met you on Facebook, and I am the guy who attended the HBCU. So I shouted you out on Facebook, and I just want to shout you out again.
Shout out to you, brother. I remember that.
Absolutely. So what's up? I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you sharing this platform and sharing the information.
No doubt. Anytime. Thanks for being a part of it.
No problem.
All right, Kenny Lewis, I'm coming to you. Okay. No Kenny Lewis. Okay, no Kenny Lewis. All right. Let me go to hold on. Let me mute you. Kenny.
Hey.
How you doing? I can hear you now. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm a new investor and I'm having issue actually finding good hard money lenders. A lot of them are adding points. Any recommendations?
Yeah, a lot of them are adding points. The risk is higher right now. We're in COVID. We don't really know what's going to happen from month to month. So a lot of lenders are adding points. Guess what I tell people about points and interest rates? I could care less. It doesn't matter. What matters is if the numbers work in the deal. Do all the numbers work? Do you still make your money even with added points? Then don't worry about it and do the deal and make your money, because if you don't have a choice but to get funding from somebody adding on an additional $2,000, but you can make $56,000 like I was showing you, are you going to do the deal or not?
I'll do the deal.
Yeah. So I don't care about interest rates. I don't care about points. I don't care about wholesaler fees. Do my numbers work? I worry about everybody else's lane and just stay in my lane and make my money. And it served me well. I don't get caught up in what a wholesaler is making as long as my numbers work.
Okay. And how about your package? I'd like to get that.
Sure. I keep putting it in there. It's going away, but I don't know how to put it in. I don't think I can. But it's Calendly. If you use that, in the / Alexis Lee Real Estate. Everything, if you find me on Instagram, it's Alexis Lee Real Estate. All the links are in my bio. Everything is Alexis Lee Real Estate on Facebook, Instagram. I'll put it in here again, but you can find me. And I think I have access to the group. Am I able to comment to them, Matt?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not in it
also.
right now, but I'll do it when we get off of here. But
yeah, you can add in the files. I think you can add in the files tab if you wanted to, in the group as well. So whatever you want to put in there, you can post it, add it, whatever. And then, or if you just post it, then I can just take it and add it in there.
Okay, perfect. And I put the link again, but I'll post for you guys in the group, and I'll send it. I'll send the file, the budget sheet, so you all have that. And yeah.
All right, I'm with the university also. Okay, great.
All right.
Shout out to all the HBCUs in the house.
Oh, yes. Yay. Anybody from Hampton?
All right.
Somebody tell me in the chat.
Sanja.
No, I'm not worried about Howard. I said Hampton.
Sanjay.
Yeah, hello?
Yes.
It's on you, brother.
Hey, what's going on, Matt? Appreciate you. Thanks, Alexis. I was watching, I'm a new member of the EYL, by the way, and I was watching a video with Julian, and, just kind of breaking down how he
shout out to my brother Julian, man.
Yeah,
Julian, my man Julian Gordon, man, he be out here just preaching gems all day, man.
All right, so
that he plays no games. He don't play no games.
No games at all.
None.
That video was fire, and
he don't care what you say.
He don't give a damn.
No, I respect it.
Yeah, that video was fire, and the one with Naka Queen, that was fire too. The one you had on there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're real informative. So I'm kind of new to this, and I want to get into investing, and I'm always torn between the FHA and the conventional and to get in this. I was watching how Julian did it, but with Alexis, I noticed that she uses hard money and stuff like that. So do you feel like it's better to use hard money? Because I know with the interest rates and stuff, you said don't worry about it if the numbers is good, but going the conventional route, you always have a little safety net with the interest rates, right?
But I mean, hard money, this is for short term. This is not something we're doing long term. This is to do the refinance, right?
Oh,
I mean, this is to do the renovation.
Okay, okay. It's like, so like for the burn methods, would be better with the conventional.
No,
you can't do it that way.
Look, so we got to learn from our sister Kimberly, right?
Okay. Right.
And look, I don't fault anyone from trying to get into this business with using minimum down payments, but you got to really understand the mechanics of financing and how these programs really work. These programs are not designed for people to invest in, right? They're designed for you to live in the properties. They're not. So if you do these loans, you could be putting yourself in a worse position than you started off. So I know capital is always an issue with most people, but you got to find other ways: business credit, credit cards, lines, raising capital. You gotta get your skin in the game and use the proper programs for investing, because Kimberly, thank God she's in a cash flowing market like New Jersey, where she can make that type of cash flow. But think about if she didn't purchase in an area that had good cash flow. She could be stuck in that loan forever. And let's just say the market depreciates now, right? She would never have the opportunity to get out of that loan, right?
Now she's gonna lose all the money.
Exactly. So when you talk conventional FHA, when you talk anything with a minimum down payment of 3%, 5%, that's primary residence. So choose wisely. If you're going to use those products to house hack and do that, choose wisely. Just be super wise with it, because you don't want to find yourself in a position where you can't get out of it and now you're screwed.
So right now I'm in the position of just kind of like, I got a little money stacked up. I'm keep saving, especially during the COVID right now. The main thing is just to save. And at the same time, try to build on that credit score so I could get the best interest rate as possible.
Okay.
And my thing is, I'm always listening to Matt doing the 4-3-2-1 plan. And I'm like, okay, jumping into it for that low interest rate with a conventional, just to kind of get my foot in the door, put a little money down, kind of build back on that equity, and then pull out, and then I could go for a smaller unit. That's kind of the way I'm trying to go. I'm from New York, so everything's expensive, so I'm looking elsewhere. It's just a little, like you said, you got to kind of, I guess, come out your comfort zone. Same thing what Julian was saying, and invest in other areas. Just be smart about the numbers.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, you say you have some money saved. I don't know how much that is, and you're working on your credit.
Yeah, right now I could tell you right now I'm around a little over 15.
Okay, so you can get started in other areas, right? I tell people all the time they get on, they say, well, I can't buy nothing because I'm in New York and it's high. There are so many markets in driving distance to you to invest in. There's Philly.
You got Jersey right next door. You just heard the story.
Yeah. I was just, that's kind of where my head, because at first, like I said, I'm from New York, and I was thinking about maybe trying to, grab something like a foreclosure in Queens, but I'm like, it's still a risk. But if I could go to Jersey, I could get that for probably half the price.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a friend, we went to college together, Hampton University, and he's an investor. He lives in New York. He invests in New Jersey, in Orange, New Jersey. I went down to visit his properties. He had, like, literally, when I tell you somebody buying the block, he bought the block, and it was in an opportunity zone. So he wasn't paying taxes on it. He had all these tax benefits, and he was getting these properties off tax auctions and paying 30, 40,000 for 4 units. 4 units.
Wow.
This is possible to do. All you have to do is to get the funding for it. And it's not hard to get 40, 50,000 if your credit is right. You can get business credit. You can get credit cards that you can pull cash off of. You can get personal lines of credit to be able to get this cash and buy these properties and refinance. House hacking is great if that's what you're planning to do and you're planning to live in it. But there's other ways to get the money to buy properties. You can also, I'm sure Matt can do a 20% down loan for somebody, and you find something for 100,000 and you put $20,000 down on it. So there's a lot of options to get in the game.
Right. I mean, I guess you just have to go ahead and take that leap of faith.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I tell people, right? It's usually not the money holding. It's not learning it, because once you learn it, you know it. It's about removing the fear. you got to get out of the mindset of being scared about making money. If we're always holding on to our money, then the money can't flow and you can't make more of it. And so I'm debt averse. I don't like a ton of debt, but I will take on debt to make more money.
Right. That's
And
like the
and so you just got to be not fearful to be able to do that and move forward. It really is a mindset shift. It really, really is. And if you can get over thinking that, oh my gosh, I don't have the money, I don't know how to get the money, I don't have nobody to support me, and start thinking, I know the money is going to come to me. I'm going to get the money. I can find the money for these deals. The deals will begin to flow. And it really doesn't take that long to do that.
right. All right, no problem. I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you. All right, we're running up on 5 o'clock, so I'm probably gonna take 2 or 3 more questions and then we out of here.
All right.
Because I got things to do. Sorry.
Yeah, my daughter came to the door 3 times. I told her I was going to play basketball with her, so I got to play.
Word, we gotta go. So Keisha. Keisha,
Can you hear me?
loud and clear.
How you doing, Matt? Hey,
I'm
Alexis.
well. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Hey, Alexis, thanks for everything, for all the gems you dropped today.
No problem.
I heard you say you were from Atlanta. In the Buckhead area, are there many 2 doors available?
I'm not, I'm from Atlanta. I'm an Atlanta girl. Not Buckhead. More like Bankhead. No, I live on the south side. Yeah, there's a lot of higher end homes in Buckhead, but there's a lot of condos. I stay away from condos. Why? I don't like the fees and I don't like special assessments. So I kind of stay away from those. That's just my personal opinion. So there's a lot of condos in Buckhead. There's a lot of homes. Not a ton of duplexes there. Our duplexes are clustered up in different areas. DeKalb County has a ton of duplexes. Lawrenceville, Clayton County, you can find duplexes. Not a ton of them in the Buckhead area, but you can find multi-units a little bit more on the outskirts of Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Let's see who we got. I think Arthur, did you have your hand up, Arthur?
Did we do Arthur already?
I think I saw his
More
hand
people
up.
keep raising their hand, Matt.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's about to be a wrap.
Well, one-on-one
Nicholas.
sessions are available. I got my COVID pricing up for everybody, so you can't say, I'm not for the people.
Nicholas.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank y'all for doing this. Also based out of the Atlanta area. So Alexis, have you pursued commercial real estate, and why or why not?
I have not purchased commercial real estate. I have looked at some. It's not off the table. I think commercial real estate is about to get very interesting right now after COVID. A lot of businesses won't be coming back. So it might be something that I'll begin looking into. I'm a rehabber from start and in heart. I like to fix properties. So I have not moved into the commercial space. It's not something I'm opposed to. I've looked at some deals. It's just got to be the right deal.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go on. This is gonna be the last question. You know what? I haven't seen this name before. R. Bridget Cummins. I haven't seen your name before. R. Bridget.
Oh my God.
There you go, Queen.
Hello, can you hear me? Oh my goodness. Okay, yes, this is Bridget. I was on YouTube, but I finally got into the Zoom, so thank God for that. Alexis, I just wanted to ask you, you say that you were a realtor. I wanted to know, are you listing your own properties once you do the rehab? And if so, are you finding any conflicts of interest? Because I'm a realtor as well. And that's the difficulty I've, struggled with when it comes to like investing in properties. And my broker already told me I can't wholesale, so I'm gonna have to just do fix and flips. But, I wanted to know what your take was on that.
It's not a conflict of interest as long as you're disclosing it up front. I always disclose it. I make it very clear that this is my property and I've done the renovation on them. as long as I'm doing good renovations, I keep everything above board. And I don't typically have any problems. If any times I think it might be a conflict of interest, I'll ask another realtor to list the property for me. But for the most part, I try to, I keep everything above board. I have a property that just did the renovation on now. When I knew the offers were coming over, I made it very clear to all the other realtors, hey, I am the agent. Plus, I have an interest in the business that owns the property and completed the renovation. So everybody knows what we're working with.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And one more thing, HU, how are you?
Oh, we got an
How are
HU
you?
battle.
All right. All right.
I don't even hear stuff.
Thank you.
Which one's the real HU though?
How are you? 1868. How are you? Bye. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. So look, that's all we got. This was like 2 hours of gems. So Alexis, why don't you tell everyone again how to find you, your Instagram, email, whatever information you want to give them, your courses, whatever you got going on. Talk to the people.
Yeah, so it's Alexis Lee Real Estate on everything. Website, Instagram. I've been putting it in here. I'll put it in here again. But Alexis Lee Real Estate. And then my link, you can go in through my Instagram bio and all my classes are on there through Calendly. I'll put both of them in the chat, but Alexis Lee Real Estate on all platforms. Follow me.
And YouTube, I'm putting the link to her Instagram page in the YouTube comments right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you. This has been great. I had a good time.
Now, this was a lot of information. I hope you guys learned a lot. There was a lot of lessons in this. I'm actually probably going to replay this and watch it over again. But you did a phenomenal job. As always, we appreciate you. And now, guys, so any of you who are at EYL University, Alexis taught a class with Nicola Realtor back in November when we first launched EYLU. And they did a class on Airbnb, which was a phenomenal class. Both of them own Airbnbs. It was just, go watch that class too. That class is dope. I know you posted something the other day about your Airbnbs are now starting to pick back up now that Georgia has reopened.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm so thankful. Yeah. We're back at like 95% occupancy.
That's dope because I thought Airbnb was finished.
We back in there.
Listen, people don't care about COVID, I guess. So Airbnb is back like it never left. And you know, we spoke about, somebody brought up commercial real estate. You know, Twitter just announced, the CEO of Twitter just announced not too long ago while we was on this call that they are letting certain employees work from home forever, right? So that means, like I've been telling y'all in the group, commercial real estate is on the clock. A lot of companies are going to follow suit with us being in lockdown for 2 to 3 months and people are still working and being more efficient and getting things done. You're going to see a lot of companies start bailing out on their leases. So that's going to lead commercial opportunities, guys. So if you're looking to invest in commercial, I think that's going to be the biggest opportunity, far greater than residential during this crash. So get your coins up if you want to get to the big leagues. You know what I mean?
It's coming. It really is. I think this is going to be a huge opportunity for people wanting to get into commercial. And listen, I'm getting my coinage all the way together. I'm trying to buy buildings with cash.
I like the way that sounds. That sounds great. So look, man, everybody, I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have another exclusive real estate class for EYLU in the Facebook group. We got Tia Blair. And she's from the Philly market.
Oh, I love Tia.
Yeah, Tia is a beast.
Yes.
And she's going to teach you guys how to build a $1 million real estate portfolio in 12 months. So, and I really wanted to put this class prior to her class, so that way you guys can have a better understanding of how to evaluate deals. So I hope this class, you guys got value from it. We're going to post this class in the group probably within the next 48 hours, so that way you can watch the replay as well. But tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Make sure you guys sign up for that. I'm gonna put the link for the Zoom for that class in the events tab in the Facebook group, but also check your emails if it's not in your inbox, junk or spam as well. So get ready for that tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as an exclusive class, is not being streamed to YouTube at all. It's only for Zoom. But Alexis, we thank you here at EYL. Appreciate the love.
Yeah.
Another gym dropper. Now I can't wait we got to get a hat trick by the end of the year. So we got to get the third class.
No problem.
All right, guys. So look, everybody, reach out to Alexis. Make sure you guys go follow her. If you like this class, you guys on YouTube, here in the group, please go to the Facebook page and make a comment about the group. Shout out Alexis on the group so the folks who missed it will understand what they missed. All right. So make sure y'all shout her out and tag us in the Facebook group and let us know your honest opinion about what you thought about her class. All right.
Yes, please.
Alexis, I appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you. Humble.
All right. I'll speak to y'all soon.
All right. Bye.